First things first, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that feed us with knowledge and understanding. Much love to the elect brethren, the elect men, the elect Akim on the four corners of the planet Earth that's been set up through faith. These prophecies are coming to pass. We're seeing the Lord work, man. We're in the time of seeing the Lord work and his words come to pass. So it's a beautiful time. And you have cats that are coming out with this, so trying to come against the word of the Most High by saying that the chip is not the mark, that you can use any name, you can call on the Most High any name. Okay, these other groups are going off, man. They haven't had the ears to hear, because now the Most High is giving this truth as a precious thing. The elders have always said it. And the book has always proved that this is a precious thing if you have it. But more now than ever, because we're coming closer to salvation. So it's about keeping it until the end, man. So now we're gonna jump into the story to show you that we're living in a time of Esau's judgment, because he's done great things. That's why it says it's reached unto heaven, man. Okay, so I'm gonna play this story and I'm gonna try to get and edify as best as I can and get into these scripts.
Large quantities of debris are floating at various altitudes in space. Space exploration began in 1957, generating this intergalactic junk from more than 4,900 space launches and 200 orbital explosions. Suspended in galaxies are pieces of rockets, old satellites, and tools lost by astronauts, all colliding with each other to multiply the amount of junk. Today there are some 23,000 objects larger than 10 centimeters long, around 500,000 between 1 and 10 centimeters, and more than 100 million smaller fragments. Sensors carried on space vehicles only tend to detect micro debris, but even damage from a small collision can be serious due to the very fast orbital speed of this debris at 10 kilometers per second. Debris of 1 millimeter, for example, contains the same kinetic energy as a typical metal bowls ball thrown at 100 kilometers per hour. Large debris, sometimes as big as a bus, is tracked and followed from Earth by radars and telescopes. It floats in low orbits used by the International Space Station, which has changed orbit more than 10 times to avoid collisions, and hundreds of Earth observation or telecommunication satellites. The ISS and these satellites are used for the internet, telephone communications, financial transactions, and navigation systems. All are at risk, and if a collision occurred, millions of dollars worth of equipment and contracts could disappear as though into a black hole.
This is the book of Revelations 18:5. And it says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High has remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she has rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. Even the cup which she had filled her double, filled to her double." And then what's that cup? You have the cup of they want to put us back in slavery. They want to chip us. They want to destroy us. They want to put us in internment camps. Okay, and that main chip is another form of slavery. It's total slavery. Because through those chips, they can actually control your mind, they can control your body, they can do different things in your body, and how you say, put themselves in that position to control you. Okay, so the Most High now is putting this out here and putting this information. They've polluted space, man. Even the things in space have to be burnt up. We might have these damn devils in suits picking up shit out the damn space, the damn orbit. Who knows, man? But this is ridiculous. When I seen this video, I mean, I knew this before because there's a whole bunch of satellites out there, but there's bus-sized floating objects out there, man. This man is destroying things. He's destroying the earth. Let me get it. This is the book of Revelations. This is the book of Revelations 11 and verse 18. "And the nations were angry." Because what do you see now? You have all these other nations that are rising up against America. These weak nations that one time was a farming nation. Now they're beating their plowshares into, they're pruning hooks into spears, man. because they're coming against this great Satan. That's what they call this place. They call this place we know it as the wicked, man. Okay, but these other nations are coming against America in financial, even coming against America in a war type status, man. And it says, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto the servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great. See, Nate ain't one of them. I see is not one of them. They don't fear the name, because if they feared it, they call upon the Most High's name the right way. If the Most High brought you out of the world and took you out of that mire and that dirt and that filth, why would you want to keep that filth name and project it, man? You know, that's what Nate is doing. The most Yahweh Shin Yahushua is giving us his name to call upon him so he can come and save us. He's the one who took the name away in the first place, but now he's giving it back to us. But then Nate is trying to negate that and say, oh, you don't have to use the name. Well, keep playing, man. When you're in the time of trouble, you will call upon that name, and hopefully you got better hope the Most High responds, man. That's all we have to do. We're all prisoners of hope. We don't have no concrete proof for this thing. We just have the faith. But then Nate is trying to take and put men back into the, because he lost it, man. He lost the faith. Only a man that's lost faith would do things of this nature. Would tell you and not warn you of the chip. The elders are warning us because it's a dangerous thing. Through us taking that chip, it's damnation, man. If you take that chip upon your skin, you're good as done. You're dead in water, man. And it says, and the nations were angry, and the wrath is come in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. See that? So this man is destroying earth, he's destroying outer space, or he's destroying in our hemisphere with this space station. That's why the Lord said this. This is the book of Obadiah. That's why the Lord said this. And it says, though thy, Obadiah 1 and 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Alright? So that's it on that. Let's jump into this next one. To show you Esau is the devil, man. Because we've been known that Esau can make clones, okay? He's been cloning things and doing things of that nature. But I found this video and I thought it'd be interesting just to watch.
When old structures fail, we just build new ones. The same thing is happening at a groundbreaking institute where the first functioning organ, a bladder, was built from scratch.
The most common strategy that we use to grow an organ involves taking a very small piece of tissue from the patient. We then start placing the cells one layer at a time onto these three-dimensional molds. And we then let it cook, if you will, in an oven-like device that has the same conditions as the human body. The goal is to really use the patient's own cells to recreate that tissue or organ.
Dr. Anthony Atala is building replacement parts through regeneration. Sounds kind of impossible, but it's not. This is the injured limb of a newt, fully regenerating itself in just a few days. So if it happens to amphibians, why can't it happen to us?
Okay, let me get into the way I just thought about something. Because Esau's trying to play God, he's trying to play that power role. Because you remember when the ear was cut off of the centurion, Yahushua was able to put his ear back on and to fuse it, man, to fuse the skin part of the pretty much to fuse it back together. I'm not gonna go speak into those words, but he fused it back together. Okay, the spiritual power in the righteous side is what the elect shall receive. Esau is receiving it on a carnal side, a demonic side. He's coming on the vibration of the left-hand side. Okay, so it's this type of thing is possible. I just thought about that. Thought it'd be a tidbit to add.
It already does. Bones regenerate every 10 years, while our skin is as good as new every few weeks. Dr. Atala's mission is to figure out how to speed up that process. And this is not a one-size-fits-all situation.
The least complex organs are the flat structures like skin. The next level of complexity are tubular structures like blood vessels. The next level of complexity are hollow non-tubular organs like the stomach or the bladder. And finally, the most complex organs are solid organs like the kidney, the heart, the lung. We can put in flat structures, tubular structures, hollow organs, but solid organs still remain a challenge.
Just a hypothetical here. Say you're a Van Gogh enthusiast and you've just cut off your ear and mailed it to a love interest. If you suddenly have second thoughts and need a new ear, Dr. Atala could be your knight.
Out of all the body parts, what did they say? The ear. The ear. Because what is that relating to? It's relating back to the story. Yahushua putting the ear of the centurion back on, man. I don't know if that's what they were going for, but it's funny that that's what they used as the one body part that was cut off.
In shining armor. His team is building new body parts with 3D printers.
Right now, this printer is actually putting together what would be considered a human ear. And these structures are being printed to the same size as that of a patient of need. Every cartridge can hold a different cell type for an organ. And then you're printing the cells one layer at a time.
Okay, so you Jakes understand now. You should see the technology that Esau has. He doesn't need mass amounts of people to work. He's made machines that can print objects, that can print and duplicate things every time the same exact way. That's what they're saying. We can just destroy these people. We don't need them. They might save a small number to do maintenance and to refill cartridges and things of that nature. You see what he has? He's already set, man. Esau is set, and that's why he's proceeding on, man. Because his technology is already in light years ahead of what we know, man. That's why when we go down into their bunkers, into their little hideaways, they're gonna have those things there, man. We're gonna take the righteousness of it, whatever is there. I ain't gonna say I don't know, man. I don't know. But to show you Esau's light years ahead, that's why he's pursuing and think that he has the opportunity to do that, man. Should make you mad as hell. Let me get this verse real quick. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians. Let me see the time I got here. Almost done. It's the book of 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. And it says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most he as God sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? And now ye know that withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. Now we know it. We can see it. The brothers, the Akim that are in the know and looking at the information, especially the news, you seeing this man's the devil. You can clearly say that. You don't be like, oh, we don't be calling Ishmaelites the devil. We call them just fucking bed bug having. They're done, man. Camel eating motherfuckers, man. But this man Esau, he's the devil, man. He's the one that's polluting the space station. He's making fake body parts. He has clones. That's why the Lord has to vaporize this place. We don't know what kind of demonic things Esau has on the four corners of the planet Earth. That's why the chariots and these missiles are going to cleanse things, man. That's why the elders have told us about these missiles must come. There's things in this earth that Esau has done that we don't know, man. That he's done, that it is defiled this earth. That's why the Lord is going to burn you up, man. Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua is getting ready to take care of you, Esau, man. He's ready to touch you, man. Look the things that he's done. Let me get into this. All right, I'm getting emotional. Hey, you have to get mad sometimes, man. This is Isaiah 14 and 13. This is the book of Isaiah 14 and verse 13. And then I'm going to play this video. This is Isaiah 14 and verse 13. And it says, For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. But you won't be. You're going to be like dust, man. Okay, this right here is to show you, if you've been listening to Nate and them other guys and the government's getting ready, man. The chip is on its way.
And what if? We wonder, what if we got rid of cash? After all, cash is what keeps terrorists, drug dealers, and gun dealers in business. Could a move to a cashless economy around the world help America? Here now the man with a plan. He wrote about it in Saturday's New York Times, an op-ed called Turn In Your Bin Ladens, as opposed to Benjamin's, yes. Joining us now is Jonathan Lepeau, Associate Professor of Economics at the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey, California. Great to see you, Jonathan. We really appreciate your taking the time. This op-ed caught our attention on Saturday morning, and then we wanted to call you right away. So I guess the first question is, we had looked up on the Federal Reserve. There's about $1 trillion U.S. cash dollars floating around the world. The majority of them, according to the Fed, is outside the United States. What's most of this used for?
Well, a good portion of this money is used for transactions in other countries where their local currencies are, weak or not to be trusted. Not all the money that's floating abroad is necessarily money that's being used for illicit or illegal activity. Countries in the third world depend a lot on the U.S. dollar as a means of exchange in the day-to-day economy. However, one can be certain that at least half of the funds involved are indeed being used for gang activity, criminal activity.
At least half. And how important is cash, and in particular the U.S. dollar, which ironically, of course, is the country and the currency that terrorists want to bring down the most? How much of terrorist activity is funded through dollars?
Oh, we don't know that.
Yeah, but I guess from the point of your op-ed would be, it's important enough to people like the Taliban or Al Qaeda that we need to get rid of the cash concept.
That's right. We know that insurgents use cash. However, not necessarily the U.S. dollar. They use euros. They use Afghanis in Afghanistan. They use dinars in Iraq. It's not exclusively an issue that relates to the U.S. dollar.
And you know what? To that point, I wanted to follow up with you because, we always think about the U.S. dollar because it still is the fiat currency for the world. Obviously, it's perhaps the most important. But the euro has a 500 euro note now, which obviously means you can have a lot more money in a smaller space if you're trying to smuggle or hand it off in a briefcase. So has the euro become even more important than the dollar, do you think, or not yet?
It's not as important as the dollar. Recent events may be damaging the euro's reputation, but it's certainly having a growing presence in terms of global crime and insurgency. You see more and more activity with euros. I would mention that the former chief economist at the IMF, Ken Rogoff, criticized the European Central Bank for issuing the 500 euro note.
Yeah.
His argument was that it's actually a note designed to compete for the business of drug dealers and terrorists. Well,
you would imagine for most normal transactions that we all would think of at this point, you're not using that size money. And I know, as you noted in your op-ed, the Treasury stopped issuing $500 notes back in 1969. So your solution is, let's get rid of the cash, and that would cut off a lot of the illicit activity out there, and certainly a lot of the funding for terrorists, etc. So how do we do that practically?
Well, the beauty of cash is that it's very easy to make transactions, small transactions. We don't use cash anymore to buy a house or a car. Nobody wants to walk around with a suitcase full of money, but you still use cash to buy a Coke at a vending machine, or pay your parking, in a parking vending machine or a meter. You still use cash for these things,
right?
Because the cost of making a transaction like that electronically is simply too large relative to the size of the transactions involved.
But we don't
However,
for things like tolls, right? I mean, so it could be done.
First of all, it certainly could be done. And with tolls, you see a very powerful example of how, as technology improves, our ability to toll efficiently without using cash has gotten better. 30 or 40 years ago, toll booths were a cause of congestion, as people would back up and be fiddling with their coins. And now you just drive right through with one of these, fast pass and other technologies. These technologies are making it possible to do these kind of transactions at smaller and smaller scale all the time.
And the bottom line is, quickly before we go, if we did come up with something, I don't know whether it's linked to your fingerprint or your social security number, whatever it might be, I guess in a sense you're going a national ID card sort of way, but it would require banks, right, to agree on a language around the world, so it would work everywhere.
Ideally, you would have a single standard worldwide. Those can be very difficult to arrange. You certainly do need to have national standards. And there are a number of countries that have moved in that direction. Singapore, always an early adopter of these kind of technologies, has been working towards a national standard that would allow them to completely eliminate cash.
Well,
a few other countries.
And I know there's countries like South Africa, which we would encourage everyone to go to the New York Times website and read Jonathan's op-ed, Turn in Your Bin Ladens. And in the meantime, everyone, let us know what you think. Do you think we should get rid of cash, and would you be willing to do it if it meant you had some sort of a national biometric or ID card? Email us, let us know. streetsigns@cnbc.com. And Jonathan, thanks again.
Thank you very much.
Chip is on the way. Alright, let's play this.
The power suit has taken on a whole new meaning. In a world first, an Australian tailor has developed a garment that lets you pay for just about anything with a simple flick of the wrist. And it's been developed right here in Melbourne.
Paying has just got a whole lot easier, all thanks to an Australian tailor's obsession with technology.
So now you can pay invisibly wherever you go.
All you need to do is wave your arm to the machine.
The design is the brainchild of fashion brand MJ Bale. Just 2 months ago, they came up with the idea to thread a payment microchip into the sleeve of one of their suits.
It's a very small microchip, so you can't see it. It's seamless, so you don't see it. It's inserted in a small pocket.
Just 11 of the suits have been made so far. James Billington is one of the lucky ones trying it out.
It's the idea of not having to carry a wallet. It's a great fail-safe if you do walk out the office or you do forget your wallet. You've got it on you, so there's no excuses. And there's no excuses for getting away from a free lunch.
And this could be just the beginning. Imagine throwing out your purse or wallet altogether. Tech experts say they'll soon be obsolete, with microchips not only replacing cash and credit cards, but your passport and driver's license too. Jade Robberin, 7 News.
Start rolling out into Chase branch. Alright, this is going to start rolling out into Chase branches this year. Deployment for this year and next year, according to the video. I'm going to play you a clip from this video that I found on the Chase Online when I went to pay my credit card. And yeah, the audio doesn't sync up. I did that intentionally, so hopefully copyright's not an issue. But they're evil, and it's not like Google cares.
So I'm standing here in front of our Express Banking kiosk with one key new addition. It's our biometric palm vein authentication scanner. It makes authenticating into the device quick and easy and simple for our customers. Let me show you. The customer simply needs to walk up, place their palm on the device, enter their PIN, and within a few seconds, they're in and ready to do their transaction. Customers have told us they want this. They're going to love it. It's private, it's secure, and it's quick.
So instead of having your ATM card or your debit card, you're just going to use your palm. Notice how it's your right palm.
It's our biometric palm vein authentication scanner.
What I don't understand is why you still need your PIN. Because if you have your hand, and that's supposed to be you, right? So there's no questioning whether those are your veins. What do you need your PIN for? It just shows you how bogus this is. It's not about security or safety or whatever nonsense this guy spews.
It's our biometric palm vein authentication scanner.
Alright, with that, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Barakathu Yahweh, Barakathu Yahushai. It's time, the time is at hand. This thing is coming to pass. Lord willing, the Most High come and get us soon. Take down this man Esau and bring us into rest. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Much love to you brothers that are keeping faith, man. And Lord willing, we be part of that number, man. Shalom.